So, hi guys, and welcome back. Now, I'm absolutely delighted to have the lovely Catriona Waters from the Prepare Me movement on the show. So, welcome, Catriona.
Hi, Sharon.
Great. So, Catriona, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for agreeing to come on the air today. I suppose I felt it was important to interview you today. I know I've checked out some of your products, and I find them to be absolutely wonderful. So I felt it was important that other people hear all about this wonderful, innovative product that you've come up with. So I'm going to start with, first of all, where did this idea come from, or what was your motivation for coming up with it?
So Prepare Me came from almost 20 years working in the disability sector. I can't believe I'm almost 20 years working in that line, but I am. And I also have a beautiful little nephew who is 10 and autistic, and I have a brother-in-law with an intellectual disability. So I suppose I have a professional and personal insight into disability, if you like. And I suppose the idea really came from every day at work when you are working in the disability sector. It is ability that hits you in the face and bites you on the nose every moment of every day. And I just got really frustrated and tired of seeing simple, in inverted commas, everyday experiences just go dreadfully wrong for some of the people that I support, purely because they didn't know what to expect or they did not feel prepared going into them.
Perfect.
So that was one of the main things. And the other thing was, no more than anybody else that works in the disability sector or any parent that has a child with an additional need, we were constantly, and we are constantly, building visual resources at work. I've been laminated and velcroed within an inch of my life.
I know the feeling.
And I'm sure lots of parents relate to that. And I found it really difficult to get access to the images that I actually might need in order to prepare somebody for something. So that was the other thing that brought Prepare Me around.
Perfect. So will you explain to me exactly what it is you do, so Catriona, for anybody that hasn't heard of Prepare Me before?
Absolutely. So Prepare Me is an early stage startup social enterprise. We will be a not-for-profit. And we basically build visual resources that support children and adults with additional need for informed experiences in everyday settings. So we build video models, picture stories, visual schedules, and other resource packs that might help prepare somebody to feel informed and empowered when they go into an everyday setting, such as visiting the doctor or the dentist or having a haircut or going for a hospital appointment, etc.
Great. Now, I know that I've seen the wonderful doctor's pack that you've piloted in the last while and stuff. Yes. Would you tell me about the pilot programme and the results that you've had with it to date?
Absolutely. So we've ran 2 pilots over the last 6 months or so. So what we did initially was we surveyed about 220 parents of children and adults with additional needs, and we asked them what was the most difficult everyday experience for them to navigate currently. And very sadly, most of them came back and said everything was difficult. And quite a few parents said any environment where they couldn't avoid bringing their child or adult to was particularly difficult. It just goes to show the level of isolation that some of these families are currently experiencing. But the number one experience that came out again and again and again was the doctors and hospital appointments alongside everything else. So we decided then that we would build our first set of resources all around a typical visit to the doctors. So we partnered with the primary care centre here in Athenry, the surgery Athenry in the primary care centre, and we got 2 fantastic actors, a young lady called Rosalind and a young boy called Joshua, both of whom have additional needs, and they acted in a video model, one for a child and one for an adult, that just brings you through the whole experience of a typical visit to the doctors. So we recorded those video models, made 2 really good video models with simple language voiceovers, and then we used those visuals to make a picture book for both the child and an adult that again would bring you through the same experience using simple language, breaking the whole experience down visually. And then we also built a set of visual schedules again for a child or adult which would depict visually the typical things that you would expect to happen during a typical doctor's examination.
Great.
We rolled that out in the primary care centre, so on their website, if you go to athenrysurgery.ie and just click on the Prepare Me logo, people will be able to find a little bit more out about that pilot. So basically, a child or adult could watch the video before they went to surgery. When they were in the waiting room, they would be able to read the picture story, and then in each doctor's consultation room there would be a visual schedule which the doctor could use with the child or adult to help pace and guide the experience for the person. So that was that pilot. So we did that, and we were very gung-ho, and we still are, that we really want services to provide these visuals for people. We don't want it to be the continuous responsibility of a parent to get these visuals together, and that is still, you know, a main motivating factor for us. But parents very much came back as a result from that pilot, which was really successful, and said, this is wonderful, but we need it at home. And we took that on board and understood that. So we put together parent packs, resource packs that we sent out to 25 young children and adults around the country, that included all of the visuals that I've just told you about. But we also included the medical equipment that a child would typically be exposed to.
Absolutely.
During a typical doctor visit, that you've gotten to see, Sharon. And the children basically used the resource pack at home with mum or dad. So they watched the video, they read the story, they modelled the equipment maybe on a doll or on mum or dad. Or on themselves, and they gradually desensitised to something that may have been quite difficult for them initially. And then after about a week or two, they brought the pack with them for a checkup, and they transferred the skill then using the pack. And it's been really successful so far, I'm delighted to say.
That's absolutely fabulous. I know that I was speaking to another parent, and I showed her all of the bits and bobs, you know, the blood pressure machine and all these different things. And the very first question she had for me was, what about if a child needs bloods taken? So I was saying, I'm not sure whether or not you have anything up and running for that or not, or whether she'd contact you directly, or...
Well, you know, that's definitely on our to-do list. Our plan is to build a whole library of resources that will be easily accessible to parents and easily accessible to service providers as well. So that's our plan. We plan to do a whole range of resources all around healthcare, you know, on getting bloods taken, having a vaccination, typical asthma care or diabetic care, and all of the typical experiences that a child or adult might be exposed to. But this pilot was our very first resource, so we could test the concept and gather some evidence to ensure that it really works and get good feedback from the people that are using it.
Fabulous. So tell me, what kind of things can people... I know now you've mentioned a lot of medical areas and stuff there about asthma care and all that. What other topics can people expect to see from Prepare Me as ye grow?
Well, we hope, I mean, the sky is the limit. Prepare me for anything. But I suppose at the moment we are thinking about doing another range all around what you might expect at the doctors. The dentist has been something that's come up again and again with parents, and haircuts is one that I really, really want to do. Because, I've been on the receiving end with a couple of the people that I support, and I've seen how difficult that can be for some of the children and adults that I work with, and I'd really like to put together a really good resource pack for that.
That'd be fab.
But we would love to hear from parents or people with additional needs themselves to tell us what it is that they would like to see Prepare Me do. And hopefully if we get a bit of a springboard of funding or support, we'll be able to move it forward.
Fantastic. Can I ask you, Catriona, ages, these products, what ages would these products suit? Am I right in thinking that it's from the youngest child right up to the oldest adult?
Yeah, you're right in thinking that. Any age really, because they're so visual, they really can be used to support a child as young as 2, even, you know, earlier than that.
Great.
Right up to an adult. You know, we've kind of made a commitment that every resource pack that we do, we will build both a child and adult version, because it's very, very difficult to get resources that are suitable for adult use in this kind of area. So we hope to have both child and adult versions.
It'll be brilliant actually to have an adult equivalent as well, because as you say, all too often adults tend to be almost forgotten about. We're looking after the kids, the people under 18, but after 18 things get a little bit more sparse on the ground, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Tell me, Catriona, I know that you got through to boot camp with Social Enterprises Ireland for their awards. What would winning this mean for you?
Oh gosh, so we're through to boot camp with Social Entrepreneurs Ireland. Next Monday is our boot camp.
Wow.
And SEI would have been responsible for, you know, being the springboard for lots of really successful social enterprises like Pieta House and Men's Sheds and Food Cloud. Fantastic resource. Yeah, they do amazing work. And we went through their academy process last year and we won that. We got €3,000 seed funding as a result of the academy, and we've used that to build this pilot and test our resource. If we got through to the awards, if we won the award, we would get €10,000 in unrestricted funding, and we would also get a place on an accelerator programme for about 9 months that would give us up to €25,000 in additional practical support.
Fantastic.
So it would be, exactly the type of springboard that PrepareMe would need in order to get a really good code of governance in place, get our board together, and really start to think about how we can scale this concept to make it as accessible to the people that need it most quickly.
And right across the country, not just locally and stuff, because this is it's an innovation that would support everybody. Right across the board, from the south to the north of Ireland and across the world.
And beyond.
Exactly.
We hope to try to be able to come up with a really good tech platform where parents can go online and have access to a full library of resources and be able to use a really easy to use, drag and drop template for a picture story, so they can use some of the stories that we've done already, and they can add in their own images.
Fantastic.
Customize it for their focus person and print it out, and off you go. That people are not spending hours, trying to make the best of Google Images.
And I suppose even enabling a parent to use their own image, I suppose it removes that need for contextualising for the individual with autism.
Completely.
And trying to take that extra step out of it,
Exactly.
Tell me, do any of us, can any of us vote here, us in the public? Do we have the opportunity to vote for you as potential winners?
Unfortunately, I wish you could, but you can absolutely, lend your support by following us on Facebook. If you type in PrepareMe.ie, you'll find our Facebook page, or on Twitter we are prepare_me. Our website is being built currently, so that should be up and running in the next few months. But you'll be able to follow everything that we're doing on Facebook. Is probably the best.
Great.
Best resource to keep up with where we are, but just to support us and say a little prayer, light a candle.
Fingers crossed, toes crossed, the whole lot. Can I ask you, Catriona, where can people access are people able to access those products yet? Those doctors visit products now and that?
Well, we're just finishing up the pilots that we were running. I do have a couple of resource packs that I should have available in the next couple of weeks. If there are any parents out there who would like to come in kind of last minute and test them with a child or adult, they want to get in touch by dropping an email on info@prepareme.ie.
Okay.
We can do that. Hopefully we will have that resource made available soon. So we're kind of just making small improvements to it and working on getting costs down, because that's a major issue for us, to have it as accessible as possible.
Yeah. I suppose I feel so excited at the thoughts of this, I feel that it's such a wonder. I really do. I know you're giggling, but I feel that it has the potential to make such a huge difference, that I'm kind of excited to hear when it finishes, I'm really excited to hear that it's rolling out completely.
Well, everybody has or should have the right to access information that's written in a language that they can understand.
100%.
That right. And one of the most powerful things that came out of one of the pilots that we did was, one of the doctors said, using the visual schedule with somebody, he said it was the difference between me doing something to that child and doing something with that child. And that's really, really powerful. The doctors is just one example, but nobody likes going to the doctors or being in hospital or anything like that. But in the back of your head, you think this is a safe space and a safe place, and I'm in the right place, I'm in the place where I need to be because I'm sick and it's going to help me. But if you're a child or adult with additional needs and you don't have access to information that can prepare you for what's about to happen, you're really not going to feel safe, and your flight or flight instinct kicks in. Why wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
It would for any of us. So I think it's really, really important that we kind of get back to basics a little bit here, and that services really consider how they present information to people with additional needs, because they have the same right of access as anybody else.
Fabulous. Tell me, Catriona, the next step for production. So we'd say if you don't access funding from these awards, which I actually doubt, I think that you will, but if you don't, are there any other alternative fundings or grants, or is there any way that if anybody happened to be listening in today that they could
if there's anybody listening that could offer any support or help in any way, look, I'd implore them to get in touch. Absolutely, we've had fantastic help so far. We wouldn't have gotten as far as we've gotten without all of the support that people have given us. Look, if we don't get through to the SPI Awards, we're still going to keep going. You know, I am so committed to making this a reality. We will find a way.
Fabulous.
Some way or somehow. You know, there are other funding opportunities coming up next year. We currently have NUI as well. Professor Stephen O'Neill in the Health Economics Department in NUI is very interested in running a research piece on this to prove that there's an economic benefit of ensuring that people have access to visual resources. So, you know, we're pushing forward to it. We're gathering our evidence base all of the time, and you know, we'll get there. Hell or high water, it's going to happen.
Fabulous. That is, I'm glad to hear that. So listen, one final question for you, Catriona. How do people, I know you've mentioned interspersed throughout our conversation different contact informations and stuff, but how do people get more information, and how do people get in touch with you directly?
So if the best way to get in touch is to drop me an email on info@PrepareMe.ie.
Okay.
info@PrepareMe.ie.
Great.
Follow us on Facebook. If you just type in PrepareMe.ie into a search on Facebook, you'll see our logo pop up with the orange and green colouring on it.
Yeah.
And follow us on Twitter. It's prepare_me on Twitter. So that's the best way to get in touch at the moment. Our website would be www.PrepareMe.ie, and that's being built currently and should be up and running in the next couple of months, please God.
Great. And you know, I suppose once that comes up, once that's up and running, you can let me know and I can put it on the Facebook page that I have and all that as well.
Yeah,
just to let people know. Catriona, all I can say, I'm actually, as I say, as a parent, I feel very excited at what's to come. What I really do, I see the benefits, and I see the huge leap forwards that people can make if they're supported in the right way. And definitely, PrepareMe, in my opinion, is a fantastic tool in order to allow people to move forward and to experience things on a positive level instead of on that anxious and uncertain level that they often do. I wish you absolutely every endeavour, and I hope you let us know how you get on, so that I can let listeners know how you get on in our next show. And Catriona, thanks so much for coming on the air today, and I've no doubt I'll be speaking to you again in the near future.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Thanks a million, Catriona. Take care. Thank you.